Hello everyone, welcome to your Retirement Resources Friday newsletter. And in today's newsletter, I wanted to talk about Social Security and the new SSA expansion. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit kind of about how the Build Back Better, I know many of you thought it was gone, it was done. I mean, I remember doing a video back when I lived back in Hawaii. So definitely almost over a year ago, still in Congress. What's going on with that bill and why that bill is so important and really holding back all the other bills, and also a little bit about student loans. But before that, I do want to ask you folks, if you haven't already, to sign up for Webull. They give you 6 free stocks when you open up a new account. It's not fraud. They give you these 6 free stocks as long as you open an account and fund it. And it's funded by any amount. Before it was $100. Now you just have to deposit like a penny. You get 6 free stocks valued anywhere between $3 to $300. And this is the actual trading platform that I personally use to trade stocks and to trade options. The commissions are 0 for regular ETFs, and they also allow you to, interestingly, do a recurring investment, which is something that platforms like this you couldn't do before. So it's easy, it's fast. If you have any questions, you want me to do instructional videos later on, I'll be more than happy to assist. But that's going to be the kind of promotion for this video. Enjoy the rest of this video. The Social Security Expansion Act. I talked about this a few newsletters back, a few weeks back, about how they want to increase Social Security benefits for everyone who's on Social Security now, and for everyone who's turning 62 this year. They want to increase it by $200 a month. So it's $2,400 per year for everyone. Sounds great, right? But how are we going to afford it? Because Social Security is already going to run out of money by 2035. That's 13 years away. So the gotcha part of this bill is that they're going to remove, number one, the income cap for Social Security tax. Social Security tax, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is an added tax on top of your state, local, federal tax that taxes money that goes through payroll. Currently, that amount is set at 6.2%. For people like me who are self-employed, I pay 2 times that. I pay 12.4% in addition to paying double Medicare tax because it all runs through payroll. Now what they're going to do is, instead of having the income cap be $147,000, which I don't reach personally, but many people do, if you can imagine, doctors, lawyers, any high income earners, they're $147,000. Anything above that, they only have to pay state and federal taxes, so they're not paying that additional 6.2%. But what this new bill is going to do is it's going to make those people who are earning high amounts of money pay more Social Security taxes. Therefore, they may rewrite the Social Security benefit calculation to accommodate those wages earned above the wage cap, which currently is the way the system is scheduled, because it doesn't make sense if you make over, let's say, $147,000 and you don't pay tax on it, therefore you don't get a benefit for any of that money. But now you will. So we're just, again, kicking the can further down the road, which in my opinion really sucks. In addition to the kind of Social Security increase, the reason for it is because it's never, the COLA increase has never kept up with the real cost of goods, real cost of inflation. So what Congress is going to do now is, instead of pegging the COLA increase to the CPI, let me make sure I get it right, the CPI-W, they're going to change it to match the CPI-E. The CPI-E is the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, and as that thing increases, that's how they'll move the Social Security COLA as well. So whether or not that is the right way to do things, I don't know, but that's what Congress is trying to do. But this bill, unfortunately, has run into a bit of a hiccup. Senator Joe Manchin, as you know, he is someone who has been quite instrumental at pushing back a lot of the Democratic and President Biden's agenda, has not really liked this bill, or hasn't really voted on this bill, and such. It's stuck. More on him a little bit later. Next, we have the student loan forgiveness. So student loan forgiveness is not something that I'm sure many of you who typically watch my videos are contending with. But if you do have any loved ones or anything like that, the student loan forgiveness kind of thing is 10,000. Other Democrats want 50, but 10,000 is pretty much all most likely going to get, if anything. And it's supposed to happen within the next, I'd say, 40 days. August 31st, something has to be done, because once August 31st passes, the CARES Act interest kind of forbearance that all people who have student loans are currently enjoying will expire, and they'll have to start paying back their student loans, which, I'll be honest, is probably negatively going to affect the economy again, simply because there's so many people that have student debt that their spending, their discretionary spending, which is already suffering due to high cost of staple items, like I mentioned many times before, and now the added burden of having to pay back their student loans, which I know they should be paying back, but it is giving some form of relief currently to those who are in debt to this federal government for their student loans, will cause more strain. So if nothing does come from that, I feel like the economy is going to further suffer just due to discretionary spending not being there to rise profits for growth companies. Now, lastly, the Build Back Better bill. Remember, I talked about that last year. The Build Back Better bill started off as like a $1.75 trillion rescue package for the US. And the main reason why it didn't happen is because a lot of people, both in Congress and in the public, said this is too much spending. We're spending way too much money trying to fix our broken, I guess, economy. And we're feeling it now. Maybe if we had this Build Back Better bill, we would have just kicked this can further, and maybe in 2023 we'd have this kind of a deep negative GDP recession-esque kind of economy. Anyhow, the main thing from the Build Back Better and the main idea, I guess, of why this bill matters way more than any of the other bills is because Joe Manchin, he is holding up all of these bills in Congress. And this is the only bill that the Democrats can get his vote yes for, because the only thing that's left after everything was stripped out of this Build Back Better bill is, number one, Medicare's ability to negotiate drug prices, which is something I talk about a lot on this channel. Medicare's ability to negotiate drug prices will further cut down high cost medications on Medicare, which in turn I believe will pass through savings down to all the Affordable Care Act plans. Additionally, Affordable Care Act subsidies are in this bill as well. Now, this bill collectively is about $350 billion, which is a lot of money still, but it is going toward very weak parts of our U.S. government system, which is our medical system. Now, I hope that they utilize all this money in the right way. I talk about this a lot, how the U.S. government spends money on things that are not really helping the people who its help is intended for. But that's for a totally another video. I'm not even going to talk about that. Now, why is it so important? Why is Joe Manchin so important? Well, until September 30th of this year, the Democrats can pass things in Congress and the Senate with just 50 votes. After that, they need 60. So if things aren't passing now, they will never pass after September 30th. And they're really working hard on providing any kind of bill that Joe Manchin will support so they can get it passed. And the Build Back Better is something that he has stated is what he will support in the Build Back Better bill. That's why it's I guess it would be just Build Back from now, because they've only got two things in there. There's a whole lot of things before. You can look it up online to see what the bill originated as. I did a whole video on it, but for streamed down version, you can go ahead and look just at the bill as it is in its original form. Now, what does this mean for us? Well, for us and for people who are in the whole stock market and everything like that. Be sure again, that link, if you don't have a Webull account, I highly suggest getting one. I have one, like I said, I trade on it. That's how I manage most of my day-to-day trades. But for us to have that type of account, now if, number one, this Build Back Better bill is not passed, then it's going to show a much greater stalemate of our government, and for better or for worse, nothing is going to pass. Next, if nothing is passed, maybe Joe Biden signing the student loan forgiveness will help the economy a little bit. I think if he doesn't sign it, it will severely hurt our economy. I'm not saying that it is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. What I'm saying is that given the options and the practical, I guess, resolution of not doing it or doing it, not doing it would cause a lot of problems, whereas doing it may increase kind of both the sentiment and the overall helpfulness of our government, and kind of how the stock market performance and a lot of people's retirement, right, is tied to the stock market's performance, which is unfortunate that we have to kind of do that kind of thinking. And I don't know if it's ethical navigation, but for someone like me who worked 3 jobs in college, paid off all of their student loans while they were in college, I can say that it's not fair. I could have, benefited greatly from $10,000 just wiped out, and all this interest wiped out, right, from whatever. But I honestly think that good for the people who had to take out loans to go to school. My wife being one of them. She had to take out loans to go to school to help, because she couldn't afford to go to school. She had kids, it wasn't in the cards for her, but she was able to go to school and get a good degree, get a good job. So this would be really helpful for people in her circumstances. Now, the very, very first thing we talked about, now we're going to circle back all the way to the SSA, Social Security Expansion Act, and getting more money out to seniors. This will also help in a way so that seniors don't have to extract so much of their income needs from their portfolio, which has been suffering. Now, many of you, I hope, have income plans that will last forever. But for those people who don't, maybe aren't watching this video, they could be really unsure on how to spend money, on how to manage their investments. And I feel for those people. But with this boost, it will definitely help them make at least more comfortable decisions on buying products and being, consumer discretionary things, etc. So I think, honestly, that if these things were to pass, the economy, while it wouldn't be fixed, but it will be in a little bit better footing than we currently are, and could get a pretty nice recovery. Now, for those of you who are currently in the stock market and wondering if you should sell, that's not what this video is about. So don't ask me if I should sell all my positions or not. I don't know. Currently, I just have a retirement portfolio, but I'm only going to be 38 this year. So I have a, knowing how Social Security works, I have another 32 years of work before I even can collect my Social Security. So I'm probably working for another 32 years. So I have a little bit more time in the market than most people do watching this video. But I hope that kind of helps give you guys some ideas on what's important and what's going on for your retirement. If you have any questions about things, I'd rather not answer questions about politics because I honestly don't really care and really try and get too much in it, because I just think it just makes me upset and there's really nothing I can do, even if we can all vote, right? So what I do know is that I try to make things relevant to people watching Medicare, Social Security, stock market. So if you have any questions on those types of things, other than what should I buy, let me know. I'll do my best to do some research and help you guys navigate at least some more of the, I guess, intricate matters of finance, retirement, healthcare. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great weekend, And remember, do good things, be well, and I'll see you later.